Hello. If this video found you, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. I'm going to be talking about how I am 26 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. And no, I'm not a part of the community. Let's get that out the way. But I wanted to talk about my experience and how I got here, what my plan is moving forward, and how I feel about it. Like, I'll be honest, I'll be vulnerable, um, because I feel like, depending on who's watching, depending on which mind is perceiving this could seem a little crazy. And to me, I felt a little crazy. There were times when I was like, when I was like 15, I'm journaling. I'm like, by the time I'm 26, I'm going to be married. I'm going to meet him at 21. We're going to know each other for 3 years, and we're going to get married, and we're going to have kids. All these things by 26. Ain't had a boyfriend from then to here. Before then, like, I've had little middle school, elementary school, but not like a real, like, official. I had a situationship or two, three, but official, like, boyfriend, girlfriend. We are committed to each other. We are romantically together, intimate, all those things. I never had that. I do desire that. Right now in my life, do I think I'm ready for it? And they say things come at you when you're not ready and when you're not looking. So y'all gotta stay tuned. But basically, they say how have you not dated anyone? I have a pretty traumatic childhood. So I have abandonment issues. I got trust issues. I have commitment issues. And so all of those things manifested even in my interactions with guys. Like, I don't care what you're telling me. I'm not believing you. Like, I have to see for myself. You tell me you care about me. You tell me you love me. Like, all that stuff just never really worked. And I was never someone who was chasing like that intensity. Like, intensity scared me. I was very closed off. I was the type of person, especially, I'll just go back to high school because that's when most relationships start. um I was the person who was like friends to a lot of people, and I showed up and we laughed and I supported you, but a lot of people weren't really friends to me. Like, a lot of my friends who I talked to every single day, they never knew where I lived. They didn't know I was living in a trailer. They didn't know all the drama that I had going on at home, all my responsibilities. I did a good job of hiding that. And so I when it came to being vulnerable, like, I wanted a relationship. I wanted a relationship just to post on Instagram like everybody else, and I wanted it for the looks. But when it came to actually being vulnerable, and I didn't want that. I didn't want no parts of that. I didn't even want to be embarrassed around a guy. Like, I didn't even want to be cheesy and just all melty, like, new. Like, I had no interest, and it wasn't really attractive to me. It was scary. And so when I would talk to a guy, and in the beginning I would get excited, like, okay, it's happening. Like, I'm about to get my boyfriend or whatever. Once we got past that part where we're like getting to know each other and stuff, and it's just like, oh, so what do you like? What do you like? And the conversation starts to get like deeper, and they like start to say, oh, I actually like you. I'm like, oh no, we're good. We're just friends. Like, it's never that deep. We never have to like each other. We don't really need to talk about those things. And I start to create space. Or if I find myself where I felt like I was starting to like him, that's what it was. Like, vulnerability did not feel safe to me. So I would run. I would stop talking to you. I would start being weird. I would disappear. I would start talking to someone else. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I started going to therapy in college, and I started working on vulnerability, and I started working on, like, if you really want these things, like, you can't get it and get the full experience out of it if you're not going to be vulnerable. Like, that's just not going to work. And so through the years, I've learned that vulnerability is a gift. Like, I feel like a lot of people are vulnerable with me, or were vulnerable with me, but I wasn't giving that gift to someone else to even be able to handle that. And that's just because it just never really was a safe space. Growing up, my mom she had me when she was young, so she had like a really short tolerance, and then she started having kids. Like, she ended up having 7 kids. And so when I was younger, because she was like working, taking care of us, she had me and my sisters like back to back, the first 3. And it was just like, I would be crying. I was very sensitive. She'd be like, get out my face with that. I don't want to see you crying. Like, what you crying? Like, it was just like crying or showing that emotion was just like no, like, go in your room, get out of my face. I don't want to see it. Like, it was just this thing that I'm just like, okay, this is not something that I'm supposed to show, not something that people are supposed to see. And it was also, I grew up with one of those moms where, like, you were a kid, like, you just listen to people. You don't come and start talking about how you feel and what you got going on. Like, I didn't grow up in that environment, so I didn't feel like what I had to share was important or people would actually care. So that was one thing that made it tough. Another thing is, I used to be very, like, Christian, and no disrespect to the Christians, and I love Christianity and the beauty of it, of all religions, but I was very much like, oh, I'm not doing anything till I get married. I'm not trying to be living, I was just being, like, judgmental, I guess. Like, I wasn't trying to be out in the streets. I'm not doing situationships. I'm not situationships. What do you call it? Friends with benefits. I'm not doing, like, no. Like, I just held myself to a standard. I'm not doing that. And I took life so serious. Like, everything, I needed a chill pill. Looking back, there are two guys that I did like, and there was no pressure, like, sexually or anything like that. And I did enjoy, and I did the thing where I would get close, and, but I always had in the back of my mind, like, the first guy was like, what we're building right now is slow, so it's safe, but I feel like down the road, like, we're gonna end up together. He passed away my freshman year of college, and we went to high school together, so that was sad. And then there was this other guy that I met my junior year of college, and he passed away. So I don't even know what that means. I'm like, see, God, anybody that I even want to give a chance to, you call them home. And so yeah, okay, so that's college. That's 18 to 22. I went on dates, talked on the phone, hung out, all the things, like, built cool friendships with guys. And that's what it is for me too. Like, anything that is, like, too intense or whatever, it still scares me because I don't trust it. I don't trust myself in that because I don't know myself in that way. And I was truly just looking for a friend. And if the friendship turns into something else, then that's great, because they always say you should marry your friend anyway. And I'm not just dating just to date. I want something long term. Like, I don't want to phase, but I can't predict that or control that. So I did have a friend from high school. Honorable mention. We were friends, so good friends. He was, like, one of my best friends. Like, he knew me, I knew him, and you could not tell me. Everybody was telling me that he liked me and that I liked him. I'm like, no. I fought that down. I fought it down. And then we get to college, and he FaceTimed me from somebody. He was like, oh, Ruby, I want you to meet my friend so-and-so. And he was in her room. I'm like, oh, hey, da-da-da-da. But I was livid. I'm like, you calling me from some other girl's room? Are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, this is what we do. Like, I got so emotional. I'm like, Ruby, y'all just friends, remember? The way we used to argue like we were a married couple. Like, it would be the smallest things. And I'm like, why does he irk my soul so much? But I can't stay away. Like, I can't. And it was years of this. He knew my family very well. Like, my uncles called him his nephew. I knew his family. His dad used to work at our high school. We used to talk on the phone, fall asleep on the phone. Like, we had very strong feelings for each other. And any guy that I did like in college, he was not going for it. Like, but the thing is, he did have a girlfriend in high school for, like, a little bit. And I didn't really care that much because she was, like, younger than us. And I'm like, this is just a joke. Anyway, he used to on the phone with me every night. So I didn't really pay it no mind. And then in the college, when I was talking to guys and stuff, he was just like, he always had something to say about someone. But it was just, like, this unspoken thing. And I was like, the reason why we never dated was because, one, like, our friendship was just like, I'm like, we can't get this friendship right. We arguing the way that we're arguing. Like, what is a relationship going to look like? Two, I was very judgmental. Like, I was very, like, because of my whole Christian thing and just the way that I was oriented and the way that I lived my life, like, I very much thought that things had to be A, B, C, D. Like, and he was starting to go backwards, Z, B, Y, W, X, Q. And, like, and I mean that, like, when I first met him, he wanted to be an engineer. He was, into Christianity and all that stuff. But then as he started getting older, especially when he got to college, he started smoking. He started getting tattoos. He started, like, not caring about his school as much. Like, who he was becoming, it was hard to watch. And I was just like, no. So I started getting mad at him for changing and not being who I wanted him to be, which is not fair to him at all. He didn't ask to be put in this category and be this person that I thought he should be in order for us to be able to work. So me trying to change him, me questioning him, that was just causing a lot of friction. Him feeling like he's not good enough or whatever. Like, so it just wasn't supposed to work, and I'm glad it didn't work. But I'm also grateful for our good times. We still check in here and there. But looking back, I did love him. I mean, I was doing some, like, you would have thought, like, the way that I was reacting, you would have thought, my bad, you would have thought that we was something, because we went to prom together, like, it was a whole thing. But yeah, so I had that experience in college, and I learned a lot about myself, my control issues. You know, control is just fear showing up, and then post-college, I don't really have that many interactions post-college. I'm not going to lie. I've been on a couple dates, talked to a couple people from college here and there, like checking in. But I went to grad school, didn't meet a single person in my grad program. And then post-grad program, I'm only 2 years out of that, or a year out of it. So, yeah, that's how I'm still single. Now, I learned a lot about myself through these years. I learned a lot about relationships, a lot about love, what I thought love was, versus what it actually is. I am someone who reads The Mastery of Love every year, sometimes twice a year. I read that book. I read a lot of self-help books. I read a lot of spiritual books, and I'm learning what love actually is. And I'm learning a lot about energy. And earlier I mentioned how I have commitment issues, and my commitment issues, like, whenever it would be time to commit, like, okay, we've been talking for a while, we've been going on dates, we've been like, it's time to commit. I'm like, no, we don't have to do that. I realized that I have commitment issues with myself. Like, I cannot commit, or I have not committed to anything in life. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. I committed to school, I graduated, I did track, I committed, seeing it through. But when I was in it, I was not fully in it. I just go through the motions of things. I'm just doing it just to say I did it. And I do enough to get a good grade. I did enough on the team to score some points. Like, but I never fully give myself into anything because I have a fear that it will be taken away. And so when it does get taken away, I don't want to have no attachment. Like, I don't want to be heartbroken. And so the very first time that I ran track, I ran track in 7th grade, and going into 8th grade, I wanted to try cross country. And my sister got in a fight. I didn't tell my mom about it. My mom found out after the fact by the school, the bus driver, whoever. My mom was like, why didn't you tell me about it? You were there. I'm like, it had nothing to do with me. So she told me I couldn't run cross country. That broke me. I'm like, I shouldn't have cared. If I didn't care, then I wouldn't be crying about it, which I still think is unfair. She gone. My mom's dead now, so we can't even argue about it. And then there was a time when I was in high school, and it was my sophomore year. We had new coaches coming in, and they were like, oh, you're going to run the 800. This is the very first meeting, my very first time meeting these people. We saw you run last year, you're going to run the 800. And I'm like, I'm not running the 800. It was like, if you don't run the 800, then you have to run another event at this school. I mean, you have to be on another team at the school. You're not going to be on the team. And so I was distraught. Like, I love track. Like, I was just getting into it. I only had been doing it for 2 years. I was really good. I didn't understand. And looking back, they were right. I should have ran the 800. But I was like out. Like, I was crying. I was just so whatever. And I was like, I just learned that when you're attached to something, if it ever gets taken away, like, it can crush you. And so I just don't like getting attached to things, because I do feel like if it gets taken away, then I won't be able to handle it. So back to the commitment thing. Me being committed to myself, I never fully committed to track from that day forward. Like, I would do enough, but I wouldn't go above and beyond because it could leave. And so my college career was a reflection of that. My high school career was a reflection of that. And when it comes to myself, like, I don't fully commit. Like, when I get into running, I'll do it for a while, but even in the runs, once it starts to hurt or once it starts whatever, I don't like just really just want to actually love it. I don't want to actually just give into it fully stay committed for a year. Like when I do that, like that is going to be like one of my greatest achievements, like doing something fully, like my whole heart, and just, I don't do that for myself. So if I can't commit to myself, if I can't commit to drinking water, I can't commit to taking my iron, I'm not going to be able to commit to you, bruh. I'm not going to be able to do it. I know I got, like, I got to look at how I treat myself. And the person that I want to attract, he don't want no wife who always getting headaches because she's not drinking her water. Like, come on now. I don't want no man who, like, why I got to tell you to clean up after yourself? Why I got to tell you to brush your teeth? Like, well, I brush my teeth, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just these things, it's just like, I'm not ready for what I want. Like, I'm not what I want. He don't want no one like me right now, I don't think. And now who I could be, that's a different thing. And I will do a video on patterns versus potential, but it's all about energy. Sorry. It's all about energy, and my energy right now, I'm in a place where I'm on the build. Like I'm doing it. I'm working out, journaling. I'm like, I'm pouring into myself. We're giving it a try again. And one thing about me, I'm going to stop running, but I'm always going to start again. I'm always going to start again, okay? Like, I think I'm just supposed to do it. I think it's just me. But anyway, so commitment is an issue. So my friend asked me, well, Ruby, because I'm starting to get 26, so I'm like, okay, like, I need to start having babies, all the things. She was like, well, if the guy that you really wanted, if you knew you was going to meet him in 2 days, like, how do you feel when you think about that? And I was like, I feel tense, I feel scared, I don't feel ready. And so one thing that I want to do, I want to attract someone when I'm feeling my best self. Right now, financially, I'm not feeling my best. Right now, emotionally, I'm not feeling my best. Right now, spiritually, I'm not feeling my best. Physically, there's room to grow. And so if I were to attract someone in the energy that I'm operating in right now in this moment, I'm only going to get a reflection of this uncooked meat, undone cake. And so when I'm going to be in rooms with people I'm going to be in the energy field of people who are. So, yeah, it's not a situation where, like, I'm not desperate. I'm not hopeless. I'm not jealous. And because if you think about, when I think about it, a lot of my friends who have been dating from high school to now, you single just like me. You done went through all those men just to end up right here. And, you've learned lessons, and I've learned lessons from. Let me finish the sentence. I've learned lessons from being an observer, but I just want you to know I'm scared straight. I'm scared straight. Not in the sense of I'm scared that I won't make a move or anything like that, but I'm scared. Like, I see what's out here. I see what happens when you settle. I see what happens when you are doing things from the wrong energy or like from the wrong place, or when you're not healed. You're going to attract someone who is not healed. Y'all are going to mirror each other and manifest the mess underneath the clothes that y'all were wearing, the mask that you were wearing when you showed up with each other. And so through my experience as an observer of relationships, like my mom, she wasn't the oldest, but she was the third out of like six. My mom has 6 siblings, or it was 6 of them. My dad, it was 6 of them or 7 of them. My mom had 6 kids. Her sister had 6 kids. I had a lot of friends. I have uncles, cousins. I've seen a lot. Like, I see what happens when you settle. I see what happens when you don't know yourself. I see what happens when you don't love yourself. And it don't be worth it. Like, I'm willing to work on myself and love my life without someone in it right now. I gotta love the person who I'm with right now. And I love me enough to, wake up every day, take care of myself. But I don't love me enough to commit to myself. And I feel like once I do that, once I commit to myself, once I really start eating, like, the way, like, the energy that I am, like, I attract some things that are so good for me that I can't explain right now in my life. And it's just like, wow, God must really love me. And so imagine when I'm really eating, what opportunities are going to come, okay? So that's why I'm single at 26. And I just think I'm talking about belief and thinking at the same time, but I believe that it's all going to work out for me because everything up until this point has. I do believe in love. Um, I do believe that I have the ability to commit, to be vulnerable. Like, I had a friendship. It was like a weird friendship. It's like I don't know, friendship just seems disrespectful. It was like, I don't know if you want to call her my twin flame, soulmate, whatever, but this woman who was like a mentor to me, and she came into my life and she played like a mothering role, and she taught me how to be vulnerable. She taught me how to be soft. She taught me how to be, I don't know, walk more in my feminine energy. She taught me a lot of tools that will make me a better partner, have made me a better person, and have helped me be able to receive love. Like, that was something that I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to receive compliments. Why do you want to hug me? Why do you want to touch me? Like, you know, those type of things. Like, the past 5 years of her being in my life and being in that nurturing role, it helped me learn how to receive it, also how to give it, and show up in that feminine way. So shout out to you, Kenyatte. And yeah, I do feel like everything that I've learned through my relationships with other people and observing other relationships, like, God is giving me the blueprint. Like, he's showing me the landmines that I don't need to step on. I have friends who are in their 30s who are single, and I used to think that I was friends with them because God was trying to show me that was going to be me, which I love them. And if it does happen, it does happen. But I do think, if anything, he's showing me how to get there. And I have the time, and I have them in my life as mirrors and as lessons, because I do see some of the traits that we do have that are similar. And I have time to, it's my responsibility to use what he's showing me to help me grow. It's just like, he's giving me the medicine, I gotta take it. He's giving me the tools, I have to use them to build what's necessary for me to live the life that I desire. And the life I desire is one that is one that has a life partner. Like, life is a journey. I don't want somebody to walk beside me. Every single day. I can't ask that of friends because they're gonna start dating themselves and just, like, you know, I mean, we can still, you know, we all have our places in each other's lives, but, like, we can't live together and share a bed and share, you know, a child and all those things. So yeah, that's how I'm 26. I've never had a boyfriend. I'm not depressed. I'm not sad. I'm not scared. I'm not desperate. I'm not any of those things. I'm just me. And so when you start learning what love is, real love, not control, not attachment, not anxiety, when you learn what real love is, that's what I want. And I know that there's a lot of work, a lot of cleaning in my heart that I have to do to be able to receive it, because there could be someone who can love me, but if I can't receive their love, I'm just abusing them. And it's like, I don't want to be out here abusing people. Life is already hard. It's going to be a lose-lose. And so it starts with me. And so I'm excited about, at this age of 26, loving myself the way that I would want to be loved by someone else, in the way that I would want someone to receive my love. Like, I have to practice it. Like, when you love something, you're committed. And I want to get committed to myself. I am getting committed to myself every day that I wake up and do my core, my routine, and my exercises, and my mental health, and my walks, and pouring into my YouTube. You know, one day I'll have 20 followers. So yeah, that's how I'm 26. Never had a boyfriend. Never had a boyfriend, a real one, up until this point. Now, I do feel like I have a plan in my head about how it's going to happen, but things never go as planned, and God going to do what he want to do. And I might think that I have to be 130 pounds. I might think I have to be a certain way and for it to happen, and it's going to happen in a way that was not even how I had planned. it's going to happen how it's supposed to happen. That's the thing too. I used to think, oh, like I used to be one of those people like, this year, God, this year. All right, after about 10 years of saying this year and it ain't happened, I'm not saying that same prayer no more. I'm not. Like, the mailbox is full. He has all those. How about when I'm ready? And another thing is, before I close out this video, if I had the man that I prayed for at 15, at 26, I would not want him. I've changed so much. Like, I've grown so much. Who I was in high school is not who I was in college. Who I was in college is not who I am today. Who I was, I've changed and my desires have changed. And so I just crave, whenever I do write to my husband, or I do have a box where I write letters, or when I write about him or pray for him, I pray on the characteristics and I pray on the feeling. And so whoever I have to be to experience that, then that's who I want to be. I don't want to be 25 if I have to be 27 to be able to experience that, and so being intentional about letting go of the timelines. Like, God don't need your help with time. Stop telling God, by the end of this year, I'm going to do this. Just when I'm ready, when I'm able to handle it, when I'm able to receive it, when I'm able to respect it, when I'm able to appreciate it, bring it into my life. And that's my approach, because my friend was telling me her brother said, whenever you take a shortcut, it just delays everything, and you got to take the longer road to get there. So it's just like, no shortcuts. I've been scared to take shortcuts, because I do believe, had I dated in college or in high school, it would have been a distraction, because I get really invested in things that I care about. And so my friends and all that, so I think it would have been a distraction, and it would have been a delay for what I'm supposed to do. Like, I was supposed to be 26 and not date anyone. I was, up until this point. Now, I just turned 26 a couple months ago, so anything can happen, and I'll keep you guys posted. But I was supposed to, and I'm grateful. Like, I'm not shamed. I used to be shamed. I went through a phase when I was getting my junior year of college. I'm like, oh my God, I'm leaving college. You're supposed to go to college to find your husband. I haven't found him. I'm on all the apps, talking to all these different people, but I just could not force myself to do something that just didn't feel right. And a lot of them didn't feel right. Some of them did, but it just didn't last. But yeah, I just got faith, and I'm not settling. And I've learned from my friends, or the people that I've seen who in their 30s and they start getting stir crazy, and what happens when you start acting out of desperation. You start to create this fantasy in your head of something in someone, and it's not even there, and you just end up wasting time. I mean, it's not a waste, because you do learn, but it's just like, you didn't have, I could have told you didn't have to do that. There were so many flags in the beginning. And so as I do start to date, I will keep my community updated, because I need all eyes on deck, not just for the person, yes, let me know if you see anything, or if I say something that sounds off or inconsistent about what he's sharing with me, but also if you see something in me, if you see me starting to change and do things that are not me to try to please him, let me know and hold me accountable. I'm someone I don't mind hearing the truth. Sometimes feeling the truth is a little, but just tell me straight up. I might ignore you in the beginning, but I'm thinking about it when it's time to go to bed, and I'm writing about it, and I'm praying about it. So yeah, I'm 26 and have never had a boyfriend, and I'm still happy. But I'm looking forward to having a boyfriend and a husband. I don't want to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't want to just be a girlfriend. I want to be a wife. I want to be a lifelong partner. I want to be a support system. I want to have a support system. I want to be supported. I want to get excited about watching someone achieve their goals. I want someone to get excited about watching me achieve my goals. I want to achieve things together. I want to build something together. I'm not looking for someone to swoop me off my feet and just make me feel la la la. No, I'm not looking for that romance stuff. Like the romantic movies where I'm just caught up in the cloud. He makes me feel, that's a nice side effect, but I'm looking for someone who's challenging me, someone who is helping me grow, someone who's laughing with me, someone who's hanging out with me. It's I'm looking for a vibe. And so if you know a vibe, if you know what I'm saying, if y'all got a brother, you got an uncle, let me know. But yeah, that's all. So my friend always used to say, be kind, loving, and caring. So I say, be kind, loving, and caring to yourself and others. And send this video to someone who might be 24 and is single, and they might be struggling with how it feels, the insecurities or whatever, and just let them know how I'm dealing with it. Maybe it could be helpful, or maybe you're 26, 28, maybe you're 30. And you probably looking at me like, girl, you still got time. It's just like someone who's 40 can look at you and say you got time. Someone who's 60 can look at you and say you have time. So it's all relative. It's all perspective. But yeah, be kind, loving, and caring to yourself and others.